Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has declared that Anambra will never obey any sit-at-home order by where he issues threat of insecurity on the southeast region of Nigeria. Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who made the declaration in an official statement released by his press secretary, Mr. Christian Aborime, maintained that the state cannot be held hostage by some threat of fictitious stay-at-home order by some disgruntled element while economy in the state suffer. The statement reads, "In recent times, Anambra State has been unfairly and provocatively plagued by unrelenting rumors of phantom insecurity and artificial atmosphere of scaremongering that nudge residents into needless panic."
Soludo first, his wife will go to market, that plaza where she sells in Onitsha first. Soludo's son or children, they should first drive to their schools with their chauffeur. That's a driver given to them by their papa, Soludo. Soludo's kinsmen, all his uncles, all his nieces, nephews, brothers, should first of all go open their shops at main market and Upper Way Onitsha on Monday when there is a sit-at-home, implementation. Soludo shouldn't be luring the Igbo traders into danger each and every time there is sit-at-home implementation in the southeastern Nigeria. If Soludo could do this on and on for 2 months, then the Anambra will join him. Sit-at-home order, Nnamdi Kanu is inside, incarcerated. It must continue in Igbo land. That is the only way. The youth over there, the people of the southeast are expressing their what? Anger, disapproval over Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's continuous incarceration. We are a people that are well endowed with knowledge and intelligence. Soludo, go. The order you gave, and that head of Onitsha Guinea market in Nukwanewi, the man opened his shop. He was what? Pied, assassinated. What has Chuma Soludo done today? He could not even visit the wife of the man, the head of the market too, because the man wanted to implement it by himself. They met him. So what are you saying? Huh? What are you saying? Soludo should be the first person to come and enforce it. Enforcement of sitting not at home should be enforced, led by Chukwuma Soludo's kinsmen, brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces, and all that.
But it begs the Biafran leaders like the likes of Ngozi. Do you think that someone like Ngozi, who is calling for continuous sit at home, do you think that she will agree to this?
No. Ngozi is not agreeing with Chuma Soludo. Chuma Soludo is busy using Udogachi, disorganizing Igbo land, disorganizing Anambra State, killing and maiming native doctors, traditional worshippers, instead of going into the forest, ransacking everywhere looking for killer headers who have subjected the Anambras, to, regular kidnap. I don't understand. Incessant shooting. In the bush, forest, farmlands. That's where Aguna Chamber and Udogachi should be operating to make sure that they rid off Anambra State of header killers. They are everywhere in the town, extorting money, drinking beer. Fulanis are busy kidnapping at Amo Biafra, kidnapping at Nkwadem Lori and the Usube axis. I don't know whether I understand what I'm saying. Soludo should be the first person to implement not sit at home. That is, come out at home on Mondays, Tuesdays, and so on and so forth. It should be the first enforcer of not sit at home. It should be against sit at home. He should enforce it by himself. He shouldn't be telling people to come and risk their lives. We've actually seen how headers are buying every farmers in their various farmlands. In Igbo land, Anambra State, everywhere in a boy state and Enugu. Peter Mba is busy doing another thing, pursuing another goal, While in the Enugu, their women are being raped on daily basis. Peter Mba is in there siphoning money, stealing money, public fund that is belong to entire Enugu state. I think
the disruptive trend is apparently being orchestrated by anarchists and sponsored naysayers who are not comfortable with the prevailing public peace and wants to bring back the dark days of lawlessness, but they would never succeed. Along with the lately illegal and sinister imposition of sit-at-home order by the discredited rabble roaster called Simon Ekpa, masquerading as an IPOB crusader, he is a troublemaker who seems to always want to cause panic and fear on the citizens and provoke the Anambra State government. Well, our job is to protect lives and property in the state, and each time they tried, they meet their water law in the most humiliating and disgraceful way. And so, it happened on Friday, July 7, 2023, that some unscrupulous anarchists dispensed false rumors of unknown gunmen invading Onitsha and other places in the state, before unsuspecting members of the public discovered the truth that there were no unknown gunmen but just some Anambra State vigilante operatives on patrol in a Toyota Sienna car. And this has caused panic to spread through some communities. Typically, mischief makers then exploited the orchestrated public confusion to post isolated videos, including old videos of people running for safety. Others, like one faceless opinion writer called Kensile Mbuba, resorted to fabricating anti-government propaganda stories about communities, cities, and markets being held immobile and coming under attack, while the chief security officer is touring in Europe. What a height of extreme propaganda. Meanwhile, some innocent residents were also misled into thinking it was enforcers of Simon Ekpa's illegal sit-at-home order who were on rampage in town. But all the narratives of insecurity were nothing but insidious fabrications and misrepresentation of the reality. These baseless tracts of scaremongering have created unnecessary panic and fear among the Anambra, while painting a false portrait of a state of insecurity. Nothing could be further from the truth. There is really no cause for alarm at all. Anambra State Government, through the Commissioner of Information, Sir Paul Nwosu, has already issued a statement to debunk the rumor of insecurity and attacks peddled earlier on Friday, July 7, 2023, not just debunking it with a mere statement, but with documentary video evidence of the peaceful nature of roads, streets, markets in Onitsha, Nnewi, and across the state, with people going about their daily engagement without fear or molestation. The Anambra State Police Command equally issued a statement as well, dispelling the phantom rumors of insecurity and attack. Both statements have painted various lies of attacks and insecurity being peddled by mischief makers, but we are setting the record straight and assuring the people of Anambra State to disregard the raging rumors and go about their normal daily activities. There are no unknown gunmen on rampage anywhere in Anambra. No community, city, or market is under attack. Anambra State is not observing any illegal sit-at-home order by criminals who want to derail economic activities. And Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, as the state chief security officer, is fully in control of the state security in collaboration with all security forces. For emphasis, maintaining law and order as well as security of lives and property in Anambra is non-negotiable commitment of the state government. Let us not be swayed by the voices of fear and misinformation that are attempting to undermine our stability and progress. Anarchy and chaos have no place in our state, and it is crucial that we stand united against these disruptive elements that thrive on scaremongering and violence. As for the imposition of sit-at-home orders by unauthorized individuals or groups, it is a clear violation of the law and must not be tolerated. Anambra State has never observed any sit-at-home order by Simon Ekpa and will never. It is therefore essential we disregard these illegal orders and focus on building our state, overcoming challenges and creating a better future for ourselves. If anarchists want to persist in orchestrating lawlessness in Anambra State, the government will also not spare any legitimate means to deal decisively with them in conjunction with our responsive law enforcement agencies. So it is in the interest of anarchists, mischief makers, propagandists, and purveyors of scaremongering to desist or face the full force of the law. Our market, schools, businesses, and other social activities must continue to thrive. We cannot allow fear to dictate our lives or surrender to the whims of troublemakers who seek to promote anarchy with baseless rumors. Anambra State will never be a breeding ground for anarchy and fear. It will be a livable and prosperous heaven for the Anambra visitors and investors, as a vision by our visionary, hardworking solution governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. The statement concluded.
About creating an army. It was about building an entire defense structure. She talked about forming a liberation army, a navy, an air force, and even special squads. It's the kind of plan that sounds like it's straight out of a political thriller, but this is very real. The Biafra Chief of Staff, Ngozi Orabueze, has announced the recruitment of Biafrans into the Biafran security forces. Ngozi Orabueze made the announcement in her official X handle, formerly Twitter. The recruitment was jointly signed with Biafra Secretary of Defense. According to Ngozi Orabueze, the recruitment is into Biafra Defense Forces, Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Navy, Biafra Air Force, and Special Squads. The statement read, "The United States of Biafra under Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, represented by the Chief of Staff, Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister, is hereby calling on all eligible Biafra citizens to join the Biafra Defense Forces, Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Navy, Biafra Air Force, and Special Squads." This recruitment is decentralized using state commanders, deputy commanders, state administrators, and special trainees. The task to strengthen our armed forces against reintegrated terrorists wearing Nigeria military and police uniform is critical to protecting the sovereignty and geographical space of the newly declared nation, the United States of Biafra. Let me tell you a story about something that has been the talk of the town lately, and it is both intriguing and intense. It's about the Biafran movement in Nigeria, a group of people who have been fighting for their independence for years. But this story takes a dramatic turn, one that's been unfolding in real time and shaking up a lot of things. So settle in, because it's a tale worth diving into. It all began on Christmas Day. Yes, on the very day when most people were at home celebrating with their families, opening gifts, and enjoying the warmth of the holiday season, Ngozi Orabueze, who is the Chief of Staff of the Biafran movement, made an announcement that sent ripples across Nigeria. She took to her X account, which many of us still think of as Twitter, and declared something monumental. Ngozi Orabueze announced that Biafra was recruiting over 50,000 men and women to serve in their armed forces. That's right, 50,000 people. Let that number sink in for a moment. Now, this wasn't just a casual post on social media. No, it was a well thought out and carefully worded statement. In her message, Ngozi Orubueze explained that this recruitment drive wasn't just about creating an army. It was about building an entire defense structure. She talked about forming a liberation army, a navy, an air force, and even special squads. It's the kind of plan that sounds like it's straight out of a political thriller, but this is very real. The statement wasn't just from Ngozi Orubueze, though. It was co-signed by Solomon, the Secretary of Defense for Biafra. Together, they made it clear that this was a call to action for all eligible Biafran citizens. They emphasized the importance of strengthening their armed forces to defend what they call the newly declared United States of Biafra. Yes, you heard that right. They are calling it a nation now. What's interesting is that Ngozi Orubueze's statement pointed out a specific threat. She mentioned reintegrated terrorists who are allegedly disguised in Nigerian military and police uniforms. According to her, these individuals pose a danger to the Biafran people and their territory. She said this recruitment drive was not just about defense, it was about sovereignty. It's about protecting their land, their people, and their identity. But here's where things get even more complicated. The Biafran movement itself is not a united front. There are multiple factions within the movement, each with its own leaders and followers. Some people support Simon Ekpa, who calls himself the Prime Minister of the Biafran government in exile. Others align with different leaders, including Ngozi Orubueze. It's a tangled web of loyalties and agendas, and this new recruitment drive has brought some of those tensions to the surface. Now let's talk about the logistics of this recruitment drive. Recruiting 50,000 people is no small feat. It's not just about finding willing participants, it's about training them, equipping them, and organizing them into a cohesive force. Critics have been quick to point this out. They're asking questions like, where are the resources going to come from? And how are they going to manage such a large force? Some are even skeptical about whether this is a realistic goal or just a symbolic gesture. And then there's the Nigerian army. Reports suggest that over 12,000 soldiers have fled the southeast region of Nigeria in fear of escalating conflicts. Imagine that. The idea of a growing Biafran force has clearly struck a nerve, and it's causing a lot of uncertainty within the ranks of the Nigerian military. It's not hard to see why. If this recruitment drive succeeds, it could significantly shift the balance of power in the region. But let's not forget about the civilians, the everyday people who are just trying to live their lives amidst all this turmoil. For them, this isn't just a political or military issue, it's a matter of safety and survival. Many of them are tired of being caught in the middle of these conflicts, tired of living in fear, and tired of not knowing what the future holds. For the supporters of the Biafran movement, though, this recruitment drive represents hope. They see it as a step toward achieving their dream of independence. They believe they are fighting for a cause that is bigger than themselves, a cause rooted in the belief that Nigeria, as it stands, is a failed state. It's a sentiment that resonates with many Nigerians, even those who aren't part of the Biafran movement. The frustrations with corruption, poverty, and lack of opportunities are widespread, and they've left a lot of people yearning for change. But change is never easy, is it? It requires unity, strategy, and a clear vision. And that's where the Biafran movement faces its biggest challenge. The internal divisions within the movement could undermine everything they're trying to achieve. The question is, can they rise above these divisions and work together? Or will these cracks in their foundation prove too wide to bridge? As we watch this story unfold, it's clear that this isn't just about Biafra versus Nigeria. It's about identity. It's about sovereignty. And it's about the lengths people will go to for what they believe is right. It's a story of hope and heartbreak, of courage and controversy. And no matter where you stand on the issue, it's a story that's far from over. So, what do you think? Is this the beginning of a new chapter for Biafra? Or is it just another twist in a long and complicated history? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This is a story that has captured the attention of people far and wide. And it's one we'll be talking about for a long time to come. The news of the recruitment drive organized by the Biafra Chief of Staff Ngozi Orabueze spread like wildfire. It was a tale that sent shockwaves through the Nigerian army and beyond. To truly understand the gravity of this announcement, we need to journey through the layers of intrigue, historical tensions, and the sheer determination of the people involved. It all began when Ngozi Orabueze took to her official X handle, formerly known as Twitter, to make a bold proclamation. This wasn't just any announcement, it was a call to arms, a rallying cry for Biafrans across the region and beyond. The United States of Biafra, under Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, she began, is hereby calling on all eligible Biafran citizens to join the Biafra Defense Forces, Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Navy, Biafra Air Force, and Special Squads. These words carried weight, not just because of their content, but because of what they represented, a renewed effort to consolidate Biafra's sovereignty. The recruitment drive, jointly signed by Ngozi Orabueze and the Secretary of Defense, Solomon Nwankwo, marked a significant escalation in the struggle for Biafran independence. It was decentralized, leveraging state commanders, deputy commanders, state administrators, and special trainees to mobilize and organize recruits. This decentralized approach aimed to ensure that the recruitment reached even the most remote areas, leaving no stone unturned in the quest to bolster their ranks. To truly appreciate the implications of this announcement, one must understand the historical backdrop. The struggle for Biafra's independence is not a new story. It is rooted in the events of the late 1960s when the eastern region of Nigeria, predominantly inhabited by the Igbo people, declared independence as the Republic of Biafra. The declaration led to a brutal civil war, marked by immense suffering, loss, and ultimately the reintegration of Biafra into Nigeria. However, the spirit of Biafra never truly died. It lived on in the hearts of its people, resurfacing over the decades through various movements and leaders who sought to rekindle the dream of an independent Biafra. The Nigerian army, already grappling with insurgencies in the north and other parts of the country, found itself in a precarious position. Reports began to surface of Nigerian soldiers fleeing the southeastern region, with some estimates suggesting that over 12,000 personnel had abandoned their posts. The exodus was attributed to the growing influence of Biafran forces and the fear of facing a rejuvenated and determined opponent. The recruitment drive also highlighted a deep divide within the Biafran movement itself. While Ngozi Orabueze and her allies pushed forward with their plans, other factions voiced their dissent. Accusations flew back and forth, with some claiming that the recruitment was a desperate attempt to gain control over the fragmented Biafran forces. This internal conflict mirrored the larger challenges facing the Biafran struggle, a lack of unity and coordination among its leaders and factions. As the news of the recruitment spread, it elicited mixed reactions from the public. For many Biafrans, it was a moment of hope, a sign that their dream of independence was alive and well.
For those of you who didn't appear on my DM asking me about Biafran recruitment, Nakuya no Potago. Bundi na appear on my DM asking me na Jum FC na actually for Biafran soldiers. Nakuya no Potago. All thanks to Ngozi Orabueze. If you me, take your time and read. Ego chaze maloko yi game. Open or yi game. Then there is an email attached to it. What I go? He send the relevant mail. Yeah, I cholo men umolobi. Men umolobi. I cholo kwam the banana hat. Anya cholo on the banana hat. Yeah, cholo men umolobi. Okay, now what? Biafran soldiers are cholo banana hat. If you me, open or you game, we send the relevant mail. Okay, now what? You share this video called as welfare. If you me, all thanks to Ngozi Orabueze. I want to the possible. Okay, now what I go? I know we go protect our land. No matter what. No matter what, we go protect them. I get check about any. One of us, they feel me. gold.
So I'm using this opportunity to warn the criminal element that are calling our people, few of our men on ground.